This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, friends. Welcome to GoOnlineTrainings.com. We are talking about how to store the data, right? And how to create a table, how to insert the data, how to update the data. So these are the things we were learning, part of SQL, structure query language. So the question is, why are we storing the data? The question is, why are we storing the data? So storing the data because we wanted to retrieve the data or we wanted to retrieve the information tomorrow. So that is the purpose today we are storing the data, right? So now let me take paint and explain. If anybody asks you what is the purpose of RDBMS or SQL or SQL Server or Oracle, so what is the purpose of RDBMS tools? What is the purpose? So RDBMS means I'm talking about now SQL Server, anything. So let us take, we are learning SQL Server or Oracle. What is the purpose of SQL Server or Oracle? The purpose is very, very simple, to store the data and to retrieve the data, right? To store data and the next one is to retrieve data, right? To store data, we were talking about a lot of concepts, right? So what the need for RDBMS, then we had seen data types, lot of other concepts we discussed. So as part of store data, we discussed about the first concept, why database management system. Then we spoken about database architecture, right? Then we were talking about data types, right? And then we spoken about business integrity as part of this primary key. Then we were talking about foreign key, then check constraint, and then after that we were talking about data modeling, right? So in the data modeling, we were talking about one to many and one to one, one to many, right? And many to many, all these relationships. So we spoken about. Later, we had seen a couple of SQL commands, right? How to store DDL, DML, DDL command. Then we had seen DML command, then TCL. And even though we have DCL command, we never spoken about it. So these are the things we discussed as of now for last, I think, 15, 20 days, right? Now, today, from today, we are going to discuss about how to retrieve data. So why are we storing the data? Because tomorrow I wanted to get some information out of my data, right? So to retrieve the data, the first topic is writing queries. This is very, very important. After that, we have a concept called views, okay? Queries, then views, then we have T-SQL programming, right? We have T-SQL programming. Then after that, we have stored procedures. Then we have cursors, right? We have cursors and we have user defined functions. Okay. View stored procedures, user defined functions. These are the topics are there to retrieve the data. Clear? And these are very, very important. And this topic is even more important. What is this? Queries and stored procedures. These are very, very, very important topic in your RDBMS. Clear? And we have got some miscellaneous topics. Miscellaneous topics. that you should know, and let me write those topics. So, which are miscellaneous. One is called indexes and performance tuning of the query, whatever you're writing. So, this is also very, very important. Then we have one more topic called transactions we discussed, and logs and concurrency. These are the miscellaneous topics that you need to know. And for the complex validations and everything, we have one more topic here. So that is not to retrieve the data. And let me, that I can write somewhere here. So that topic is called triggers. That is also there. So we have check constraints, right? So for the simple validations, normally we use check constraints. Then complex validations, again, we are going to use triggers. And this is also one more important topic. So that we have to discuss. Triggers is also there. So these are the topics that we have to discuss. It will take another 1 month to complete it. Clear? And what are the important topics that you have to know to, crack the interview? The first topic is this. The first topic is this. Okay. The second topic is this. Even though you have much more concepts. And the third topic is this. If you know these three topics, you can easily crack any SQL interview, any RDBMS interview. Okay. So when you join the company, you will have a lot of work on queries, store procedures, and indexes and performance tuning. Remaining topics, if you know, that is enough. But queries is very, very important topic. This will take next 2 weeks, next 10 to 10 to 12 days it is going to take, and it is very, very important. Okay, you cannot leave this, and you need to practice a lot. This topic is very, very important. Next topic is this. This is even more important than the next topic is this. If you know these three topics, then you know SQL very well. Clear? Whether you are learning SQL Server or Oracle or MySQL or any RDBMS, whatever be the RDBMS that you are learning, forget about it. So these three topics are very, very, very important. Clear? So retrieving data is important. When you join the company, nobody will ask you to create a database and drop the database, create a table and drop the table. Nobody will ask you to insert the data, delete the data, update the data. If you know that commands, that is done. Okay, 10% only. Remember, 10% only in your lifetime you will be working with this. Only 10%. Remaining 90% you are going to work only for retrieving data. Remember me, right? So when you join the company, nobody will ask you what is a primary key, what is a foreign key. That already you know it. So anybody can do that. So creating a table name, anybody can do that. Even 10th class guy can do that. So the complexity is in these topics only: queries, views, T-SQL programming, stored procedures, cursors, and user-defined functions. Clear? And indexes and performance tuning. Clear? So remaining topics are nice to have topics. You need to have more and more, weightage to these topics. Clear? From today, I'm going to be talking about queries. Clear? So which will take a minimum 10 to 12 hours. So from today, clear? So tomorrow, day after tomorrow, we don't have any classes, but from Monday, we'll have, this topic will be continued for another 2 weeks. Clear? Don't miss this class, and you have to be regular to the class, and you have to practice more and more. Practice more and more. So what is very, very important? Retrieving data is important than the storing the data. Clear? And the queries are very, very important. If you know queries very well, you can write views, you can write T-SQL programming, stored procedures, curses. Everything is dependent on queries only. If you don't know queries, you cannot do anything. Clear? So these are the topics still left. And from today, we are going to be discussing all these things. Am I clear? It will take one more month to complete it. So you have to practice them without fail. Am I clear? Queries is very, very important topic, and the queries are used to retrieve the data from the database. Am I clear? Now, let me uh, go to here and let me explain what is the agenda for these 2 weeks. Retrieving data, aggregating data into information, filtering the data, sorting the data, grouping, joins, subqueries and correlation subqueries, derived tables, ranking functions, CTE, temporary tables, lot of things we're going to discuss. Now, we had used this table, right? Account master table. Where is this table from? Coming from? This table coming from use Indian Bank. So this is the one I wanted to use it. Now let me say select star from account master table, right? Let me go here and there is an Indian Bank. So there is a table called account master table. So this is the table I'm referring to. Now, when you execute this command, when you execute this command, you will be able to get a lot of information. Okay. So instead of using this database, I have already created a iBank database where I have much more data. Okay. So iBank is my own database. Let me use the database because I have much more data. I'm going to be using this database. Clear? Let me go. There is account master table. So I have shortened the names. No worries about it. The name is a master, account master. So this is the table I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using iBank, but you people should use your own database. Clear? And I have account ID, name, address, branch ID, product ID, date of opening an account, clear balance and unclear balance. I'll talk about the difference between a clear and unclear balance and the status of the account, whether the bank account is opened in operative state or it is in the closed state. Clear? Or might be in inoperative state, right? So inoperative means if you don't do any transactions for more than 1 year, automatically your account will be in I. Status will be I. I means inoperative. You're not doing any transactions in the bank. So that is the the status of your account. So this is the table I'm going to be using from the iBank. Make sure that you have at least some 50-60 rows. Clear? So I have inserted lot of data. You should also insert lot of data in this table, and this table is very much useful. Make sure that, okay, and you have enough data into these tables. So we're going to be talking about Indian bank case study. So this is the table I'm going to be using. Clear? So what is the account ID, name, address, branch in which you have opened the account, product ID. PID means what? Product ID, savings bank, loan account, fixed deposit, date of opening an account, clear balance and unclear balance, and status. We'll discuss about these two things later. So what is the clear balance and what is the unclear balance? Now this is the table. This is what is called customer table or account master table. Now using single table, I wanted to retrieve complete data, all columns and all rows. If you need all columns and all rows, we need to use select star from the table name. So this is the command we were using. Select star from the table name, which is going to get you all columns and all rows. All columns and all rows will be given. So complete data, if you wanted to get it from the database, make sure you're pointing to right database. Many people will ask me, they'll be pointing to some other database. Okay, so for example, they will be in mass database. They never execute this and they'll call me, sir, it is not working. So I ask, did you write use iBank? Yes, sir, I have written, but still it is not working. So they have written, but they did not execute. You need to check where you're pointing to, where you're pointing to. Otherwise, you will get invalid object name a master. Why? Even though you have used this, you have to execute this. When you execute, you will be pointing to your own database. Clear? So then you can execute your command. So it's very, very important. First time learners, especially, they do all this small mistakes. Clear? So you need to execute this and make sure that you're pointing to your own database. iBank, I'm pointing to, you may be pointing to Indian Bank. Okay. So you need to insert a lot of data into this table and use. So this command is used to get all columns and all rows. Am I clear? Now I wanted to filter some columns. I don't need all columns. Star means all columns. Star means what? All columns. I don't need all columns. I wanted to filter few columns. So this is what? Some columns and all rows. Am I clear? Some columns and all rows. This is the command I should be able to write. So the next one is, I don't need all columns, some columns, but all rows. So here you can mention the column name, account ID, name, C balance, whatever you wanted to get it. The column names you can write it. If you don't remember the column names, you can just expand the table. You just expand the table. You will be able to find out all columns, account ID, name, C balance, whatever you wanted to get it. Simply execute them and you should be able to see only those columns. Clear? And here I need only some columns but all rows. Clear? So this is what is called account ID, name, clear balance from the account master table, and this is what we're going to get it. Clear? So the next one is that I don't need all rows, but I need all columns. Next one is select star from account master. Star means all columns. Remember this. Star means I need all columns, but I wanted to filter sum of rows. That is the next one. To filter rows, we must use a where clause. To filter the rows, we must use a where clause. So the next one is very, very simple one. So I'm going to be using, I need all columns, but I need some of the rows. So all columns, all means star. Clear? Select star means all columns from account master, where one condition you must write. The condition is where branch ID is equivalent to BR1. Clear? So I wanted to get only BR1 data. Now you see, you have 18 rows available, which are completely BR1 data. Have you seen? I wanted to get BR2 customers, branch BR2 customers. So there are only 6 customers. You can have BR3 customers. So we have branch BR3, only 10 customers we have. Clear? So the number you should be able to get it. If you execute this query and you see the total number of rows are 64, right? So you should be able to see 64 rows in this corner. Have you seen this? So make sure you are pointing to this. Clear? It will tell you which database you're pointing to, which will tell you who is that, pointed, and what is the server name you're pointing to. Everything you need to observe here. Clear? So these are the things you always observe. For example, if I change this to school, now you observe. So what has happened here? It is school database. Gather is the machine name or the server name. And the 0 rows retrieved. And if I retrieve any other table, I will be able to get some other things, right? So let me execute my own database. Let me execute this. So it can tell you 64 rows are available. Now you can execute. You can see the last row is 64. So when you execute this, so number of rows are 10. The same thing you should be able to find out here. Okay. You are connected to Kedar machine. Bhaskar is connected and you're connecting to iBank database. Please observe the information here. Am I clear? Now, now, so this is used to apply some condition. Since it is a string value, varchar data, you must give single quotes. Clear? So you can give any condition. For example, branch BR3 and C balance is less than 10,000 or less than 1,000, whatever you wanted to give. You can give multiple conditions, right? So only if you execute with this, it may give you 10 rows, but if you're including one more condition, so you're getting only 7 rows. And you can give a lot of other conditions, right? So, and the product ID is equivalent to savings bank. So two conditions must be true. Okay. So in branch BR3, the condition is branch BR3 and the condition is SB. You cannot write and symbol. It is not going to work. If you write like this command is not going to work. You need to write A and the end or O or R. So that means this condition must be true or this condition must be true. You will be able to get if one condition is true, the data will be retrieved. You have 35 rows in your query. Am I clear? So where clause is used to filter where clause is used to filter the rows and the star is used to retrieve all the data. Clear? And that's what is very, very important. And the select clause is used to filter what? Columns. So if you write account ID, name, C balance, you're filtering the columns with the help of a select and you're filtering rows with the help of a where clause. Remember this point. So this is the one. The last condition is I wanted to filter columns as well as rows. You can have some conditions like this. You can write any condition. Select account ID, name from account master table where branch equals to blah, blah, blah. So you can write multiple conditions here. This is some rows. Some rows means account ID, comma name. I wanted to have branch ID or I would like to use any other thing. Product ID is equivalent to fixed deposit customers I wanted to see. So I have 64 rows and out of 64 rows, I'm able to get only 13 customers are having this one. If you put a star, all columns are going to be displayed. Clear? So it's very, very simple that, if you need all the data, so this is the query. If you need few columns, that means this is the all rows. Few columns and all rows means this is the query and all columns and all, few rows and few columns and few rows means these are the queries we discussed. Am I clear? Now, few learning points we note we wanted to note. So what are those points? Let me tell you. The first point is star is used. Star means what? All columns. Star means what? All columns. And the second point, select is used to filter columns. Okay. Select is used to filter what? Columns. And we have three, where is used or where clause. Okay, people will say clauses, and this is also called as a clause. Okay, so this clause is used to filter rows. Clear? So these are very, very important points that you should know. Star means all columns. Select clause is used to filter columns. Where clause is used to filter rows. Yeah, am I clear? It's very, very simple. You can write, you can retrieve the data with the help of either select and where. So if you use where clause, you're going to be writing a lot of conditions. You can use and or this kind of a, operators you can use, and you can write more and more conditions. Clear? Now, I wanted to retrieve list the account ID and name only for savings bank accounts and list the names in the descending order. So this is my query. Okay. So they wanted to have a sorting operation. So if you wanted to sort the data, select star from the account master table. Okay. See, I'm using account master table, but you may have the different name. Remember, okay, when you're learning, so your table name could be a complete name, right? So account master, you must use like this, and don't call me, sir, it is not working for me. So you need to use your table name. So I wanted to sort the data. So based on something, so you can use order by clause. For example, name descending. When I say name descending, what will happen? I wanted to sort the data by name in descending order. Let me execute. So you can see it is descending order. So the last one is A.R. Rahman, Abhishek, Aditi, something like this. If I wanted to say ascending order, ASC. ASC means ascending order. So you will be able to see data like this. If you wanted to give account ID here instead of a name, name is the customer name I had given earlier. Now I'm talking about account ID in ascending order. You can have 1, 2, 3, 4 like this, 101, 102. We can give any column like this, account ID in descending order. So order by clause is used to sort the data. Clear? So which clause? Order by clause is used to sort the data. Okay, so you need to say order by. So there is a gap in between, space in between. Remember, this order space by clause is used to filter the data. So you can give any column. So if you don't mention anything here, what happens? So by default, if you don't mention anything, which is ascending order, if you don't mention, for example, I wanted to know who's having more balance, highest balance. So I wanted to use C balance descending order. So who's having highest balance? I'll come to know. So this person is having much more balance in the bank, Kajal. She's having, this is the amount she has at C balance. You can use one of these columns. Clear? So I'm going to be using clear balance. Clear balance means that the amount with the which you can withdraw from the bank. Clear? So that is the meaning of. So what is the difference between clear balance and unclear balance? Let me tell you so that you can understand. Uh, when you open an account, so I'm talking about account master table. You're going to be opening an account ID, name, and we have C balance and we have U balance, and a lot of other columns are available, right? Let us say 101 Simret has opened an account with some this one, and 102 Hemant is opened an account with 0 and 0. Clear? So when you open, you will be able to see no balance here. So after that, what you do? You do a lot of transactions. There is a transaction master table. Have you remember? We had also created a TXN master table, transaction master table, where you do a lot of transactions. So what are the columns? Account ID, date of transaction, type of the transaction, what is the transaction amount. I am not writing columns as your database. Let us understand. You have a lot of columns here, but I don't want to print all the columns. So 101 has opened the account and she wanted to on October 21st, let us say uh, 2019, she wanted to deposit some $5,000 or $4,000. So when she is depositing $4,000, what happens? Automatically, her clear balance will become 4,000 and unclear balance also will become 4,000. Clear? And 101 Simrat has deposited some cash. So we need to add these funds here. Now 102 Hemant is also done on the same day some cash deposit of $7,000. Now what happens? So here also it will become 7,000. Now how it will become 7,000 we'll see later. So this is how the clear balance and unclear balance. Now the difference we'll talk. 101 next day or after some time. So November 1st, cash withdrawal is happened of 2,000 bucks. Okay. So 101 Simrat gone to the bank and she wanted to withdraw some cash 2,000. So Simrat having 4,000 here. It will become 2,000. It will become 2,000. So hope you're able to understand. Again, 102 goes to the bank on some day and he wanted to deposit a check deposit. He wanted to do it of 5,000. When you go in for a cash deposit, so there's no problem. I'm going for check deposit. Hemant is having a check and 5,000. So what happens now? Hemant already having 7,000 and 7,000. Now check will take time to get the funds, right? So now 7,000 plus 5,000, it will become 12,000 unclear balance, but a clear balance is 7,000. So this is the importance of this. Clear? What is the meaning? Hemant can withdraw maximum of 7,000, but what is the funds is having 12,000. Why 12,000 more? Because he has given the check. The check is in the transit mode. Transit mode means it has to go for the clearance. It will take some time. So during that time, unclear balance will be 12,000. So 12, unclear balance may be same as this or more than the clear balance. If it is the same as this, what is the meaning? There is no checks are in the transit mode. Clear? But if this is less and this is more, that means the difference amount. So that amount has to be cleared from the check. After some time, so after 1 day, 2 day, the 5,000 is cleared, then it will become what? 12,000. Clear? So that is the meaning of this one. Now 12,000 means you can maximum withdraw 12,000. If you have 7,000 like this and you can withdraw only 7,000, but unclear balance will be 12,000. When the check is clear, you will be able to get 12,000 here. So maximum withdraw amount from this only. You cannot withdraw this. Now tomorrow again 102 will be depositing some 3,000. So it will become 15,000 here. And here also it will become 15,000. 102 on some day cash withdrawal of let us say 12,000. Now what happens? It will become 3,000 here and it will become 3,000. Did you understand what is the difference between clear balance and unclear balance? Clear balance means you can withdraw only this is the amount from ATMs or from your banks. So this means it is indicating you have some checks in the transit mode. So again, if 101 tomorrow goes and she wanted to deposit some $10,000 check. So what happens? Now she has 2,000, it will become 12,000 now. So we know that. So always this will be more or equal. Clear? So 2,000 Simrit can withdraw from the bank as of now. And actually she has deposited a check that will take some time to get the funds. When the funds are released from another bank, so it will become 12,000. So maximum she can withdraw 12,000. So that is the meaning of difference between clear balance and unclear balance. This is not the technology, this is the domain knowledge. Clear? So technology is primary key and foreign key and everything. And why C balance and U balance? that the domain, the business will teach you why they are maintaining this kind of columns. So you should know the domain knowledge very well. I'm talking about here banking domain. Are you clear? So these are very, very important. You need to know, you need to ask them what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this column? So they'll tell you. We can understand what is the purpose. We can understand what is the purpose, but we don't know until and unless you work for the bank, you don't know this, right? Am I clear? So that is what is the difference between clear balance and unclear balance. Now, I wanted to use sorting. So sorting by C balance descending order. So the query here is something different. List account ID and name only for SB accounts. So let me write the query. They need account ID, comma name only for what? Only for where product ID equals to SB. Only for what? SB accounts. So, okay, you need to execute this. Done. Then they wanted to have order by name descending. So this is the order spelling is wrong. Okay. So it is in the descending order. So that is the question they asked. List the account ID name only for savings bank accounts and then list the names in the descending order. So this is the query you must know to write it. Clear? And you have to write select from where order by in the same sequence. You cannot go first is from, next is where. No, it is not going to work. You have to follow the same order. Select from where order by, order space by. You can give any column name, doesn't matter. You can give any column name. If you don't mention anything, by default ascending order, and if you wanted to mention descending or ascending, you can mention. So this is how order by clause is going to work. Am I clear? So let me tell you some more things. Let me go and ask you some things now. Okay. I wanted to, this is an interview question. So people would ask you, is it correct or not? So select star from the account master table. So what is the meaning of this query? Get all the data from this table. We know this, right? So they may ask you in the interview, they put comma, they put one more star. They put one more star. They'll ask you, is it, will it work or not? Is it correct or not? So star means all columns. Does it work? Let me execute. So yes, it is executing. What is the purpose? There is no purpose here. So they'll ask you whether it is a valid query or not. It is going to get you all the data, account ID name, clear balance, and status. Again, account ID name, clear balance. Even though you have stored only once, we are able to retrieve multiple times. What is the purpose? There is no purpose here. So whether it is, whether it is valid or not, this is the question the people would ask you. Will it work or not? The answer is yes, it's going to work. And you can also put one more star. It is going to work. So there is no problem at all. Clear? So you can store once, but retrieve multiple times all the data you can retrieve. There is no meaning. Only to crack the interview, people may ask you this kind of a funny questions. So the next question they'll ask you, I wanted to put account ID and name. Again, I would like to write account ID name. Will this work? So that is also one more question. So is it work? Why not? Even though you have stored only once, you should be able to retrieve multiple times. Then they'll ask you, can I put star here? Will it work? Star means all columns. Will this work? Let me execute it. Why not? It is going to work. So account ID, name, account ID, name. Again, star means all columns. What is the purpose? There is no purpose here, but only to crack the interview, people may ask you, is it valid query or not? Syntactically, is it going to work or not? Am I clear? So all these things are very, very important. Account ID, name. So these are very, very important things, guys. You must, know to use them. Clear? And they'll ask you one more query is what is the meaning of this? Is it valid? They'll ask you select five. What is the meaning of select five? They are not going to write from a master. So there is no table. Simply they say select five. What is a five? Five is a constant. It is a number, some constant value. Okay, it is a constant value. Let me execute. Will it work if I execute? See what happens. Now 5 is a number, so which is a constant, which is a printing. So select 5 means 5 will get printed, nothing. So people will tell me, sir, you are going to get the fifth column from account master table. Where is the column? Where is the table name here? You have a lot of tables. Where is the tables here? Where is the table name? Select 5 means printing 5. Then they'll ask you like this, select SQL or select Java. What is the meaning of this? Java is a constant. Will it work? So it is not going to work because Java is a string or varchar data we have to give like this. Will it work? Why not? So select Java. So Java is what? Java is a course. This is also a constant. Clear? So with the help of a select, you should be able to print some data. Remember this point. Select clause is used to display something. So Java, I wanted to print. So you can print like this. Okay. So select 5. So what will happen? You should be able to print. Okay. So where can we use this? Let me show you something. Now they'll ask you one more question. Is it valid? So they'll ask you select star from the account master table. We know this. So when you execute it, you will be able to get all the data. Total number of rows are 64 rows we have. Then they remove, they'll put 5 here. Okay. Then if it is not there, we know we are going to get what? 5 will get printed. But if I write from the account master table, now what happens? Will you get fifth row, fifth column? Let us execute and see what happens. It is printing 5 for each row available in the table, right? If you say instead of 5, when you say Java, okay, when you say Java, what happens? Java will get printed for each row which is available in the table. So all these things you should know clearly. So they may put now, if I put star, what happens? If I put star, all columns and Java also will get printed. What is Java? Java is a constant. Okay. What is Java? What is the purpose of Java? There is no purpose here, but people may ask you, can I print columns and constants? Why not? I wanted to print 5. So can I print like this? Why not? You should be able to print like this. Now, what is the purpose of printing this kind of a constants? Let me tell you beautifully. So all these things, so are the learning points. Now let me write some valid statements. All of them are valid only. Select account ID, comma name, comma C balance from account master table. Now, now people wanted to know what is the currency. The currency is not there in this table. If you see carefully, we don't have any currency column. We have only this one. But what is the currency? Is it Indian rupees, Saudi riyals, American dollars? What is that? So I wanted to have a constant here. So this is what is called USD. Okay. This is what is USD. USD is a currency. Let me execute it. Did you understand what is the meaning? So sometimes all the information you are not going to get from the table itself. Sometimes you wanted to print something here. So you can also remove this and keep the constant here. You can have a C balance there. Clear? C balance, you can have it there. Now you should be able to execute like this. Now see, account ID, name, this is the currency is USD and balance is this much. And there is no column name. If you wanted to give column name, you can say as currency. This is what is called alias. Okay, if you don't have any column name, we can mention the column name there. So you can say as currency. Okay, so account ID, name, currency, and this one. So people think that it is coming from the table itself. Okay, so people think that it is coming from the table itself. It is not going to come from the table. So this is what is coming from the constant. You can have the constant. This is the advantage. Clear? So I wanted to pay tax, but unfortunately, there is no tax. Everybody has to pay in India 18% of the tax. That is all. That is also I would like to print. So I'll say 18% as what a tax. Now this is not there. This is not there. We supposed to print like this. Okay, so this kind of a constant values may not be coming from the tables, but in the real time you need to include these columns as well. So these are the data, gets printed in the query itself. So this is the currency and this is the tax you need to pay. So all these things are pretty much important. Clear? So we are writing five, right? Five as tax. So this is the tax amount these people have to make payment. And this is the currency in which the C balance is transacted for. Clear? So all these things are very, very important. Now you should know what is the importance of the selecting constants. Select the five. What is the five? Five is a number, or you can say my lucky number. Whatever you wanted to say, you can say like this. My lucky number. It is a alias. You can give like this. What is a Java? Java as a course. Okay. So this is what is called an alias, and you can use as without as also. It is going to work. No problem at all. Clear? You can also remove as here. This is an alias column name that you can supply. Okay. My lucky number. If
Sir, I
you
have a
have,
question.
yeah, please, please.
So instead of writing this select Java and then course and it's bringing you all Java, 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 is there a way that we can just select something out of all the tables that has a word, a specific word? How do we do that? Or a
Yeah,
specific
that
number?
day one, right? So still you're in day one. So definitely we will do that. Okay. It will take a lot of time for you to
Oh, okay.
understand.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay. Thank you.
because you are in the beginner state, right? So you will not be able to do that. So select a five as a lucky number. So this is what we can do it. And if the alias has a space, will it work? My space, lucky space number, it is telling you it is not going to work. It is not going to work. So if you have a space in alias, what can we do? You need to put this kind of a braces. Okay. Now it is going to work, right? So it is a course space name. It is not going to work. We can use this kind of a braces. Am I clear? So you can use course space name. Or if you write a single word, there is no need of putting those brackets. But even though you put brackets, nothing will happen. Clear? So these are very, very important things. People may ask you all these things in the interview. Am I clear? So let me show you some more things. Select account ID, name from account master table. Okay. I wanted to write some constant here. So how to write? You can say any constant you can write. You can write is doing SQL course with Go Online. Okay. So I can print like this. Now Modi is doing MSBA course. So you can have your name and attach some string to it. Clear? So this is what is called some comment or some status is currently undergoing. So whatever you wanted to give, you can say like this, and you can give any constant like this. And remaining columns, if you wanted to put, you can also put star. So all the remaining columns, including account ID, everything is going to come, and this is what is called a constant. You can give anything. Clear? So that is what is important. Now I wanted to concatenate. So merge these two columns. So use plus symbol. So this is the symbol you must use. So remove the comma, use a plus. That's it. So what happens now? So this and this will get concatenated, going to get merged. See now, Modi is doing, Radha Krishna is doing. I wanted to have a space in between. So give a space here. So when you give the space, you will be able to get a clear string like this. Clear? So whatever be the name that is available there, so where you should be able to get Balu Mahendra is doing SQL server. You can read whatever you wanted to read it, copy and paste it here, and the string is very clear. Nisha is doing, okay, Simret is doing. So whatever you wanted to have it, you should be able to have like this, right? So we can modify these values and you will get your names. Update account master, set name equals to, let us say, billion, right? So how to update? Where account ID is equivalent to 101. If I say 101, so this name will become billion, right? Now 102 name, I wanted to have Simrate. So whatever you wanted to have, you can have it here. Now when you execute it, you should be able to get, and this is your balance. Now let me concatenate this. Now what happens? You will be able to see your names there, right? So let me take these columns and say this. Billion is doing SQL course with Go Online. But let me remove this space and try to execute and take this. Now you see the difference. So billion is and Simret is, it is not giving any space. If you wanted to have a space, if you give any space, nothing will happen there. If you give more spaces, still the problem is not resolved yet. Clear? So you have to give the space inside this. Now when you execute, you should be able to get these values very, very clearly. Billion is doing and Simret is doing. Am I clear? So you can also give the space, but there is no use. When you put comma, it will be two separate columns. Okay. When you put comma, these are two separate columns, but when you put plus, it will get concatenated. Am I clear? So concatenation is very, very simple. Concatenate means attach in the one string to another string. That's what. Am I clear? So it is very, very important. So people may ask you, do you know how to concatenate the string? Now, let me give you one more thing. Name, see balance. Now from account master table, now let me execute it. I'm able to get, and I wanted to know what is the currency. Currency is INR. INR means Indian rupees as the currency here. Okay, currency is Indian rupees. I wanted to have like this, but I wanted to remove the comma and the plus have this one. Clear? So this is what is the number, and this is what is called string. If I concatenate both of them, I get issues. Cannot convert value to money. So there is an issue. What is the issue here? The issue I told you, this is what is called a number, right? Money is a number, and this is what is called a string. We will not be able to convert them. Can you add Petrol and milk, can you concatenate? Can you merge them? It is impossible. But what about petrol and kerosene? You should be able to, concatenate them or merge them or combine them, right? So like that, water and milk, you should be able to merge, but not water and petrol or water and kerosene or something like that. So it is having a different, the nature. This is a type is integer data type. This is a string data type. You will not be able to concatenate. You will be able to lot of issues. But I wanted to concatenate. So still, I would like to use concatenate means we can convert. Okay, we can change the type. There is a type, cast functions that can be used. Okay, the following functions you can use below functions can be used to convert or to change the data type. Clear? The first function is called cast function. The second function is called convert function. So these are the two functions that can be used to convert this into string. Now it is an integer value that can be converted into a string value. So how can we use the cast function column as varchar, or you can use data type. So required data type you can use. Now for this you can use data type comma column name. Then there is a style number, so that we can use it. Style number we can use it. So either this syntax you can follow, this syntax you can follow. Let me take this and let me follow this syntax. Let me say cast, open the bracket, say as varchar. I need to convert this into varchar and then do the concatenation. So let me execute this. Now you're able to get and give a space here. Am I clear? So now this is what is called your currency, and you can say are your balance. So this is what is called your balance. Now, what is the balance in your bank account? So this is what you should have. Am I clear? So the same thing can be done with the help of convert function also. Okay. How the convert function, because we had C balance, right? Convert function is very, very simple. Data type. We need to say convert first data type varchar, comma, column name. This is not recommended. This is not needed as of now. Put this. So this is also one more function that can be used. So we are able to get the same thing here. Clear? So if you wanted to merge two different data types, you have to convert, you need to convert one into string. So this is a string, right? So string cannot be converted into a integer, but integer can be converted into a string, because when you take a char varchar, so char varchar means what? It is going to be having letters, numbers, and special characters. Clear? You can convert this into a varchar data. So then you should be able to merge them. So this is how you should be able to convert. And these two are very, very important functions, cast and convert. Clear? What is the purpose of style number? That we are going to discuss in the Monday's class, right? So when to use the cast, when to use the convert. This is also one more interview question. So as of now, I'm not giving you anything. So this we'll discuss on Monday. Am I clear? So today we discussed many things, right? So one is that how to use select, how to use where clause, what is the purpose of order by clause, and how to use star, how to use stream constants, how to use constants and the columns, how to convert them with the help of cast and convert. All of them we discussed. If you have any questions, you're welcome. Thank you, guys.
Okay, I have a question, sir. I was doing the school, and then I was trying to